Night, Keefe. If you want to take a quick respite from Jaylen Brown, and I think it's warranted. Last night was just such a letdown and so embarrassing. It's not even funny.
It was brutal. They didn't belong on the same pitch as Belgium, and even early on in the game, you're like, they looked terrible. Like, they looked awful. And even when it was 0-0, even when it was 1-0, you're like, they don't look right. Like, they weren't. It seemed like they barely had the ball. It seemed like when they did have the ball, it wasn't even on that half of the field.
I
but
agree.
Then they showed the graphic.
They kept showing the possession.
It's
I'm
like 48-43. I'm like, on what planet?
How the hell does the U.S. have this much? I completely agree. This was like watching the U.S. in past World Cups.
Yeah.
Like, the difference in this World Cup, and before you even get into the Balogun red card and everything else,
Yeah, right.
is that they could score and they look dangerous.
Did
and
that dude Tillman? Insane.
The free
two snipes.
The free kick, you couldn't even enjoy it last night. You
Gave that one up.
even it up. It's 1-1. You get the equalizer, and then not even 2 minutes later,
Right.
you're back down. You couldn't even enjoy it. But no, you're right. On the free kicks, he was great. But this felt like old U.S. where they weren't dangerous. You felt like they could not score a goal unless it was a set piece or a free kick. They had no shot. And it's extra embarrassing because it was so sketchy that Balogun was allowed to play. Like, so sketchy.
Yeah.
And other guys had red cards removed leading up to the World Cup. No one else has had it in the World Cup. It's been a long time since that's happened in the World Cup. It was so sketchy how it all went down. And
Non-factor.
to go out and put up that performance
Didn't matter.
when you got the gift of all gifts to have Balogun out there and lay an egg like you did, shameful.
Yeah, it was brutal. And, like, the whole time we're thinking, all right, you have home field. Like, maybe you can go on, like, a little bit of a run.
Not only home field, like
And you're in Seattle.
Seattle was like the place. That was that's the perfect venue for it.
Yeah.
Belgium's not even good.
No.
They sat De Bruyne, who's like been one of their best. He didn't play in that game last night. Lukaku comes off the bench now. Like,
That guy's a tank.
he is.
Oh, my God.
And so, like, I don't even think Belgium's very good.
he played like 3 minutes and scored a goal.
and
You're
you
like,
got stomped by them last night.
it was not. It was a non-competitive game. And I'll tell you why it's frustrating. It's just, it did seem like maybe there was a chance it could be a little bit different. We weren't predicting them to win the whole thing by any means, but the way they played their first two games, and then you had like guys like Ibrahimovic sitting at the studio being like, they could win the whole thing, which is not what they've ever said about Team USA. And you're like, they're more talented now, and they have more guys that are playing soccer in Europe than they do just guys that are playing here in the States. And you're like, all right, maybe they'll be a little bit better. They look really good in 2 games. Then they sat their guys, and obviously we talked about the Turkey game when it happened. But then the response that they had in the round of 32, and you're like, that was pretty good. They played, 30 minutes down a man, and they still hung on and won, and they had like some really like high skill goals in that game. And then you're like, all right, Belgium. I know Belgium's ranked in the top 10, but if you were watching Belgium in the tournament, they didn't look very impressive at all.
No.
And they didn't really come on till late.
They were down 2-0 against Senegal. They probably shouldn't even got through
No,
this
that was
round.
insane. Yeah, because when we were like mapping out the future of where they were going to go, it looked like USA was going to play Egypt in this round, and then Belgium ends up coming through, and then you get them. And you had that stat about USA versus teams from Europe. Can't beat them. And even with this team, but also it's just like they looked like different players. Like these same guys who were pretty great in the tournament just fell apart. And like, is it the pressure? Is it just the level of competition? Whatever it was, but it's like same old crap. Even with the new format where there's 48 teams, now you go to the 32 for the knockout stage. It's still, they advance out of the group stage. They're better than like, half the teams that make the tournament. Then they make it to the Sweet 16, and then they lose. That's what happens like every year. So they're one of the 16 best teams once again, no matter where the players are from and where they're playing overseas, all this other stuff. They're our top 16 team. That's it.
This was an exceptionally watered down World Cup, and they had a really easy path. I mean, this is by far the best team they played in FIFA rankings.
Yep.
And they didn't belong.
Smacked.
How'd you like the goalie last night?
What the hell was that?
He sucks.
What the hell was even that? As a great man once said. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, where is he? Why is he on the screen right now? And then the defender too also like was in the way. He's like, let me get out of the way.
Well,
let me let them score.
I forget where I saw this
Watch
tweet.
him now on the screen.
Oh, I watched him all right,
but
he shouldn't have been on the screen.
He pulled a young Wei-Ku. Somebody tweeted this out where he just missed the ball. Kicked the ground, missed the ball.
Buzzard's luck. He also was like out of goal by like 500 yards.
Yeah, he went a little outside the box there on that one. He
Can't
looked
use your hands there.
Little uncomfortable. He allegedly went to Harvard. Doesn't seem like a Harvard-educated man based on the way he came out.
He would have been better off kicking the guy in Belgium in the chest and like setting up a free kick, at least letting him get back in net. Like that was so bad. And you're like, these guys are a joke.
I mean, that was a joke. I can't take Pulisic either.
He sucks.
I can't. I can't.
He's a real problem. He's impossible to root for. Like, how soft is that? And they kept saying on the broadcast, and they were like, they were trying to be nice, but they were like, oh, it's a big game. Like, you need your best players to play big games. Like, looking for a big moment. This would be a good time for a big moment. And then they're like, he's limping around. Get him out.
He's
He finally left.
Did he turn the ball over like 11 times?
did.
And he left the game halfway through.
He turned it over more than anybody else on the field. He was awful.
He lost possession, which is a turnover, 11 times in 45 minutes, the most of any player on the field. He only played half the game.
And this is one
and
where
the half the time he was out there for those 45 minutes, he was running around crying and whining and writhing around in pain because he's the softest athlete.
Yeah.
Keefe.
That's
it's like
something.
He's the greatest player, allegedly, the greatest player this country has ever produced. Couldn't possibly be softer, right? Missed half a game in the last World Cup. Missed a game and a half in this World Cup, just about. So, like, couldn't possibly be a softer athlete. I told you that HBO Max thing, the documentary, U.S. versus the world, us against the world.
Yeah, you sniff this right out.
Well, he tapped out of the Gold Cup, and they show him watching it with like his buddies at home watching the Gold Cup, and I'm like, how soft is this guy?
The softest.
And so you're not. If that's the best player we've ever produced, then we're screwed. Because
We are in trouble.
I can't take it with that guy. I can't.
No, this is the perfect example because, admittedly, I don't watch wire-to-wire soccer and like all this different stuff. So like, but I love the World Cup, and then so all the soccer experts tell me how good this guy is, and then you watch him play for 4 games. Well, not even 4 games because, like you said, he's bagging out of some of these games. And I'm like, this guy's great. You're telling me this guy's great? Like, at some point, you need to step up. And when you look at all the other teams that are still in it, everybody that they're like, he's their best player, it's obvious. Like Mbappe and Messi and Kane and the Erling, the dude from Norway. Like, you're told this guy's awesome, and then you sit down and watch it, you're like, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Pulisic, for when he came in late against Turkey, looked a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, he had like a little bit of a spark, but he didn't even play that whole game.
No. Otherwise, like, I don't even think he had a good World Cup.
Oh, give me Tillman. Tillman's nice.
I mean, Balogun didn't do anything last night.
Balogun overall was really good.
But I feel like he showed out quite well in this World Cup. Like, yeah, that to me, as bad of a play as that was by Freeze, and as embarrassing as that was, and as much as they got stomped, I can't get over Pulisic tapping out of that game.
I agree.
I can't
so
get
now
over
we
it.
have to wait 4 more years for them to come in 16th again. So looking forward to that. But there'll be way less interest because it won't be in the United States.
Are you still super into this World Cup, or the U.S. being out? Does that kind of kill it for you?
No, I kind of like it.
It kind of kills it for me.
I like
the Scots are gone. The U.S. is out.
You're not gonna watch Egypt, Argentina.
I mean,
right
I
now?
have
it on right here.
I have it on, but like, I'm not like Scots are gone. U.S. is out. Jones is out.
But like,
I think I'm kind of out now. Yeah, I think I'm kind of out.
Through the end of it. Spain, Portugal. Now I know there was the winner plays potentially the U.S., but like I was in on Spain, Portugal yesterday. I'll watch. There's only a handful of games left, and we're down to the Elite 8. And then you get the Final Four in the championship game. So, yeah, no, I'll watch the rest of it.